Ranking each joint venture between Johnny Depp and Tim Burton in order of worst to best, there are several dynamic duos in cinema from various, but complementary fields that frequently collaborate to produce some memorable films for viewers. The most noteworthy ones include filmmaker Tim Burton and actor Johnny Depp, director Christopher Nolan and actor Robert De Niro, and director Martin Scorsese and actor Robert De Niro. Since the middle of the 1990s, Burton and Depp have collaborated on various projects. These movies are prime examples of the director's distinct Gothic aesthetic, which is enhanced by the vividly realized characters Depp portrays. As a result, these movies frequently receive the most attention during Halloween, and are the most well-liked and praised within the goth community. With the exception of Disney's Captain Jack Sparrow, Depp developed his most recognizable and beloved roles in the films of Burton. Burton's gloomy yet imaginative vision of filmmaking is communicated through the characters' striking and distinctive designs. They encounter narratives that blend the tragic, the sweet, and the horrific, thanks to Burton's writing and Depp's acting prowess. Let's celebrate the oddity and beauty of Burton and Depp's movies, which are listed in order of importance and quality. Barnabas Collins, a vampire who had been imprisoned, is freed and goes back to his ancestral home. He discovers that his dysfunctional descendants require his protection rather than a warm welcome. The overall plot of Dark Shadows, which lacked a clear goal, wasn't given much praise. However, Depp still manages to demonstrate his acting prowess. Even though it is difficult to believe he is a young immortal vamp due to his obvious age, he adds some comic humor to an otherwise dull narrative. Alice is given the task of returning to the past to prevent the death of her beloved Mad Hatter. The ramifications of this task, however, are enormous and could be harmful. Depp makes for excellent casting as the Mad Hatter. He conveys the unconventional nature of the character while still making an impact on the audience. Depp's personality and appearance both perfectly capture Wonderland's bizarre but stunning surroundings. Burton transports Alice back to the enchanted setting of her early adventure. She finds her old pals there and discovers her ultimate purpose, to put an end to the Red Queen's tyranny. As already noted, Depp not only counteracts the weirdness and wonder of Wonderland, but also portrays one of its most recognizable faces. Additionally, he conveys a loving bond with Alice, adding delicacy to the narrative. Burton tackles the second movie adaptation of Roald Dahl's best-known book, and adapts another well-known tale. A young boy named Charlie is selected to take a tour of the world's most magnificent chocolate factory with the most unique candy maker. Depp executes it with ease and his own sense of style, assuming the top hat and cane once worn by the sadly gone Gene Wilder. With a firm knowledge that Wonka lives by his own rules and isn't worried if they make sense to others, his interpretation of Wonka is as awkward as it is entertaining. Ichabod Crane, who struggles with his fear of blood and guts, is sent to Sleepy Hollow to look into the decapitations of 3 people in Burton's adaptation of the classic ghost story. The Headless Horseman, a legendary apparition and a member of the undead, is the only person the town believes to be responsible. In this fantasy thriller, Depp strikes a balance between shyness and the bloody violence. The idea of a murder detective who is terrified of blood is an amusing one, and Depp expertly embodies this comic element. As the movie goes on, he also exhibits the character's wit and resolve. A disillusioned and vengeful barber who was wrongfully imprisoned returns to 1840s London in what is perhaps one of Burton's gorier movies. Sweeney Todd uses his barbering skills to perform a bloodbath after becoming insanely enraged by his desire for vengeance for the crimes committed against his beloved wife. Depp deviates from his usual role as a tragic hero in this movie by playing a ruthless killer for Burton. His portrayal of Todd combines horror and music. In between throat slashing, he sings. He establishes the complexity of the character that might have been missed had someone else been cast in the part, since he is both menacing and endearing. In A Planned Marriage, Victor is a devoted but reserved groom who says his vows in a remote woodland. He is unaware that he has fashioned them in front of the grave of a dead bride, who later returns to life to claim her new love. Along with Helena Bonham Carter, another well-known name from Burton and Depp's work, who voices Emily the bride, Depp provides the voice for Victor. His portrayal of the character's initial awkwardness and shyness is perfect, and by the end, he has transformed him into a courageous and passionate hero. The tragic and lovely tale of Edward, an artificial man who looks to be any other human despite having scissors for hands, is told in Burton's bittersweet Christmas movie. When a suburban woman encounters him and introduces him to her world, his lonely and restricted life is dramatically altered. Perhaps Depp's most recognizable and iconic roles is Edward. Depp performs the part with a sensitivity that quickly touches the heart. In addition to his outstanding design, his performance resembles a true interpretation of Frankenstein's monster, elevated by a perfect balance of expression, body language, and vocal work. Audiences were allowed to see the life of the ambitious but dishonest film director Edward D. Wood Jr. In Burton's biographical comedy drama, we observe how the director overcomes his lack of talent to realize his aspirations for success. When Ed Wood was first released, it was well received by critics, who praised Johnny Depp and especially for his portrayal of the principal character. The actor talked about how the opportunity to develop his craft in the part helped him rediscover his passion for acting. He portrays Wood as a positive, tenacious character who you can always root for.